First Alert Weather with Cassie Campbell is sponsored by St. Francis Healthcare System.
Heading out the door this morning, depending on where you are, you might be running into some patchy fog, or you could be running into a little bit of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Seeing most of that activity right now over southeast Missouri. A lot of thunder and lightning with these, especially over the Boot Hill, and now heading into parts of Carter and Ripley County. Expecting these storms to increase throughout the early afternoon. So much of the morning should stay on the drier side for a majority of us. Cloud coverage will remain overhead. Expecting those storms to increase pretty rapidly by around lunchtime, and a few models bring this in a little bit earlier, so don't pay exact attention to the timing there, but really by late morning, early afternoon, seeing that development of showers and thunderstorms that will continue to push east. A couple of these storms could become strong to severe with gusty winds and even some hail in the core of those. That continues to push east, expecting quite a bit of rainfall overnight. And then late tonight into early Wednesday morning, another round of showers and storms are expected to move through as a cold front arrives. Highs today, upper 70s, low 80s. A lot of this is going to be determined on the cloud coverage and the rain. I think most of us won't reach those 80s today. The chance for storms continues tomorrow, and then it does look a little bit on the drier side as we end our work week.